Today is a very decisive decision from the High Court. It has vindicated my stance in taking this government kicking and screaming before the High Courts to secure the rights of the people of Donegal South West, who have been denied their constitutional rights for the last 18 months since the vacancy occurred. There is no doubt that the government now will be forced to hold this by-election, and we look forward to contesting that by-election in the month of November in Donegal South West. It is ridiculous that this government has decided to waste taxpayers' money in defending what was the indefensible, and we welcome the decision by the President of the High Court in the declaration that there has been an undue delay in holding this by-election, and that my constitutional rights and the rights of the people of Donegal South West have been infringed by this government. It is clear that this government days are numbered, and we are glad that Sinn Féin has taken this government head on and secured such a victory for the people of Donegal South West in the High Court today.
A couple of other points that we want to make. It is a hugely important judgment, not only for the people of Donegal South West, but indeed for all of those who are hoping for a by-election opportunity to pass judgment on this government over the period ahead. And indeed the indication in the judgment by Justice Kearns that this was the longest, the most protracted delay, not only in domestic terms, but in any comparable democracy where by-elections are an integral part of the electoral process. Nowhere could they find an example worse than this government's failure to respect the rights of the people of Donegal South West. And we have taken, and this morning, before the required deadline of 11 o'clock this morning, I have tabled the motion to move the writ for Donegal South West tomorrow on the floor of the Dáil Chamber, and we are expecting that the government will accede to that request in line with Justice Kearns' decision, and that we will see a by-election taking place in Donegal South West between the 22nd and the 29th of this month. Well, we would hope that the government will respect the decision of Justice Kearns. He has indicated in the course of his judgment that if the government fail, that he will be open and willing to revisit this in a much more determined and much more specific way if the government continue to fail to respect the right of others to move the writ in this instance. The government have another responsibility, not only in terms of respecting the writ that will be moved tomorrow, but to take on board what the Justice has said. He has cited the recommendations of the All-Party Committee on the Constitution that by-election should be held within a reasonable time frame. They indicated a period of 90 days. While he wasn't being prescriptive here today, he was very clearly indicating to government that they had a responsibility to enshrine such a piece of legislation, to ensure that this situation would never be repeated in the future.
Let's be clear in relation to what will happen. In the defence that the government gave a number of weeks ago, they said that if the High Court were to give the declaration that I have sought, that would amount to the government being forced by the courts to move the motion for the Donegal South by-election and to vote for such a motion. And that is exactly what we expect to happen tomorrow on the motion that Féin O'Callaghan has tabled on behalf of Sinn Féin and the Dáil. That motion will take place, there will be a vote in it, that motion should be passed, and the people of Donegal South West should be and will be able to go to the polls and cast judgment on this government. And that's what this case has all been about. It is about upholding the constitutional rights of the people of Donegal South West and giving them the power that they are entitled to, that they are constitutionally entitled to have their say, to have this vacancy filled. And I look forward to going into the battle of ideas with the other candidates and hopefully securing that seat in Donegal South West on behalf of Sinn Féin. Well, as a result of Jim McDade's resignation, there's 3 more pending, and it's clear that the wheels of this government wagon are firmly off the wagon. This government, if they were to do the right thing, should move directly into general election mode. But if they're not willing to do that, then we will win them, we will take them on in by-elections across the state, and we will defeat them. And there is 2 aims, and I've always said it, there was always 2 aims about this case. It was about to secure the rights of the people of Donegal South West, but it was also to bring this government to an end. And I am sure that this judgment today will begin that process of the end of this government.